Hey YouTube, welcome back to Dwayne's World. So is 7 better than 14? You want to find out what I'm talking about? And I got a couple updates for you on some of my prior videos. You better stay tuned. Seven better than 14. Well, I'm not talking about episode 7 compared to episode 14 here on Dwayne's World, but welcome to episode 14. What I'm talking about is 2 of the 4 reel mowers that I have a 7-blade reel, and one has a 10-blade reel, which is the 25-inch McLean. And then on my Greensmaster 1000, I have a 14-blade reel. And with the 14-blade reel, I knew potentially when I picked it up at the end of last growing season that I may eventually have to switch over that reel. And that's why this season I really wanted to just see how the 14-blade reel would actually work before I go ahead and swap it out. Now, if I just went ahead and swapped it out, you know, sometime over the last year, yeah, I'm sure an 8-blade reel probably would perform better than a 14-blade reel based on my application. But that's not my question. My question is, how bad is it to run a 14-blade reel when your height of cut is about 5/8 to 3/4? That's where I at least figured, let me be able to answer that question, and I'll know as I go into this growing season how good, how bad, or how tolerable it really is. The other thing I want to be able to go over today is I wanted to give you guys a couple updates. Updates on the PGF Complete that I threw down a couple weeks ago and kind of showing you guys what the lawn looks like. And I also wanted to give you guys an update on my front lawn where I sprayed out the perennial rye using the Certainty Celsius combo. All right, and with that, let me go ahead and show you guys what the lawn currently looks like before I get in a mow using the Greensmaster 1000. All right, so as you guys can see here, the Bermuda I would probably estimate is somewhere between 80 to 90% greened up at this point. I've been very happy with the color so far this year. You know, even though the Bermuda is definitely greened up, there's still a lot of areas that do have to spread and really thicken up to create that dense turf that Bermuda is really known for. Now, because of the fact that we have not had much rain in the forecast, I have been using irrigation. Been watering twice a week, each time about a ½ an inch, to be able to give the Bermuda that 1 inch that it really needs to be able to thrive. And with that, let's go ahead and take a look at the GM 1000. All right, so this will be using today to go ahead and take care of the mow here on the backyard. It is the Toro Greensmaster 1000. Has a 21-inch reel, and I'll get into the reel in just a moment here. But it's powered by a Kawasaki FE120 motor. I absolutely love this motor. It is one of my favorite motors. You know, probably not as much as the Honda GX 120 motor, but it absolutely is a very, very close second. Now, I picked up this mower last fall at the end of the growing season, and I've used it a couple of times since acquiring it. Just did a couple of basic maintenance things to it. You can see some of those things and what I've done to it so far if you look at some of my previous videos on the Toro Greensmaster. But an initial concern that I had when I first purchased it, and even to today, just because it has not been addressed, is the fact that it has a 14-blade reel. So to some, that may sound pretty cool. Why is that an issue? Well, generally, with the 14-blade reel, it's really designed to be able to cut greens, really where you're mowing at a very, very, very low height of cut. You know, somewhere in the neighborhood of between a 1/4 inch to a 1/3 of an inch. And obviously, I do not maintain my lawn at that height of cut. If memory serves me right, I went ahead and set the height of cut at about 5/8. And I'm very curious to see how well it's going to do on my Bermuda turf at that height of cut. Now, if it really doesn't work out, I'm going to have no choice but to replace the reel. But before I do that, I just want to see how well it's going to perform on my Bermuda. And with that, let's get to the mow. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start it up. So make sure my fuel is on, which it is. Going to go ahead and turn it to the on switch. Go ahead and set my choke at probably about a little over closed. Going to make sure my throttle is up here, and it is. And then go ahead and give it a pull. All right, so now that I got my mow done, I'm going to go ahead and break out my Ego rotary scissors and clean up those edges. All right, so one of the questions I really wanted to be able to answer today was by using the Toro Greensmaster. Is the 14 blade real? Realistic. R-E-E-L, realistic. On a higher height of cut, such as a 5/8 or a 3/4. And you know, to be honest with you, I can kind of see where it's not. But let me go ahead and show you guys what the lawn looks like, and you be the judge on both stripe action and quality of cut. So stripe action, absolutely on point. Absolutely on point. Quality of cut, let me go ahead and turn the camera around, kind of explain what I mean. All right, so before I talk to you guys about the Greensmaster, what I will probably do here is, if you look, oh my God, these stripes are on fire. Oh yeah, sun's coming out right now, perfect timing. Looks absolutely phenomenal. Now you may notice, not dormancy, but a little bit of yellowing on my lawn in certain parts. What you're looking at there is I recently applied some more Celsius and Certainty on some broadleaf weeds. And I went a little bit heavy, and what I mean by heavy is not necessarily on the mix rate, was I probably oversprayed in that particular part of the lawn. So that's why you're seeing some of that, but still, you'd really have to look for that in order to know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, one of the things I was doing in this video also is giving you guys an update on the PGF Complete and the Anderson's Grub Out. So it's probably going to be more so on the PGF Complete, just because that fertilizer has now been in the ground for a couple weeks, and generally you need about a couple of weeks before you start to see the full effects. And what I'll do here is I'll go ahead and throw up a comparison side by side of when I mowed before I threw down the PGF Complete and now. All right, so as you guys can see there, the lawn is absolutely greened up. It looks absolutely phenomenal. Now, of course, I would have naturally had more green up just because of the temperatures going up. But to be honest with you, they haven't really went up very much more than when I threw down that PGF Complete. So a lot of this I credit to the PGF Complete. Absolutely wonderful fertilizer. Again, 1608. Go ahead and take a look at my previous video. I'll go ahead and link it at the end of the video when I laid down that PGF Complete, but absolutely impressed with that product. Absolutely love that fertilizer. All right, so to answer the question on the 14 blade reel, is I feel like even though the stripe action is great, it's not cutting off as much grass as it should. It's leaving stuff behind. And I think just because of the fact that my height of cut is fairly short and the lawn hasn't fully thickened up, it's hard to see this. So I'm probably gonna have to wait a little bit longer, use this mower a little bit longer to really be able to answer that question. Grass is definitely coming off and it's leveling it out in a lot of areas, but I cannot say that it absolutely is really giving me the cleanest of cuts. All right, so this next comment here, I wanna kind of preface, because I don't want a bunch of hate mail and a bunch of thumbs down in this video. In fact, if you really like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my content. But for right now, based on my setup, when I compare the GM 1000 to the McLean or the California trimmer, I do not get as nice of a quality of cut. I get much better stripe action, but I don't get as nice of a quality of cut. Now, don't take this the wrong way. I'm not saying that the McLean or the California trimmer out of the box compared to a Greensmaster out of the box is going to produce a better quality of cut. That's just not going to happen. However, based on the fact that my McLean and my California trimmer, the 20-inch models I have there, both have a 7-blade reel, those reels are better suited for a height of cut that is about 3/4 inch. Now, when I'm talking about a 14-blade reel, it's not really ideal for a 3/4 inch height of cut. And I knew that. I just wanted to see how bad it will be. And right now, again, I can't truly answer the question because right now, the grass looks great. I have no complaints about the lawn. However, in order to really get the best quality of cut, I'm sure if I had an 8-blade reel, it would perform better than the 14-blade reel on my particular application. All right, so one of the other updates that I wanted to do for you guys is of the perennial rye and what it looks like about a week after I sprayed it out. So let me go ahead and take you out front and show you what it looks like. All right, guys, so as you guys can see here, the lawn, although green, definitely doesn't look like what it did a week ago. You know, up by the concrete here, you can tell that the perennial rye is really starting to die off. You know, underneath the tree here, it's definitely also starting to die off. But what's also nice is a lot of the weeds that I sprayed here have also shown that they're starting to die off as well. You know, once they really start to wilt, they're going to go fast. As far as the lawn, I'll probably give it another week before I go ahead and do a scalp. I've not watered it, have not fed it. Really want to just allow the Celsius and certainty to kill off the perennial rye. And I'll scalp it down, allow the Bermuda to wake up that much more as we get in to some of the higher temperatures over the next couple weeks. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I always like being able to share not only what I'm doing to the lawn, but also updates to keep you guys informed of what's happening and what the result looks like after some of the videos that I previously released. You know, when putting together YouTube and Dwayne's World, it was never my intent to get monetized. You know, I'm not quite there just yet, not gonna lie. But my reason for doing this is really just to share my knowledge and really share my passion, you know, to the lawn care community. There's a lot of us out there, and I really appreciate your support. I definitely have picked up quite a few more subscribers, and I want to thank all the new subscribers and subscribers that have been with me, you know, since the very beginning. But this season so far has been phenomenal, and we're not really even into the thick of it just yet. So as you guys continue to watch my videos, continue to hit that like button, continue to hit that subscribe button, I will continue to make videos regardless of what I got going on and how busy I am. And as always, remember, be excellent and party on.